be a wet race.
Oh, that should prove to be interesting, especially at Vietnam, of all tracks.
I know, yeah, with it being a new track on the calendar.
Honestly, I'll be honest with you, I haven't driven Vietnam in the wet as yet. I've done it in a try. Not particularly a good fan of it, but I'm not sure how bad it's gonna be in the wet.
All I'll put it is a hard track to drive in the dry, so it should be proven to be pretty hard in the wet. It looks like Sarge is off to a good start.
Angry Orange seems to have to hang back there in second. Oh, Sarge went wide.
Very wide. What's happened there?
So that turn one is not particularly easy in the wet.
I know, it's he just dropped all the way back.
I see Chatty Duck has held on to third. ENMC moving up a position here. I think he's about to keep that as well.
So he's going to try it on the right coming into this corner, on the left-hander. No, he's back tight. What's going on back here? He's got a bit of damage to his front wing on the right hand side. Wonder what's happening there.
That damage is going to affect performance definitely going around some of these turns on the track.
Oh, it looks like someone's crashed out, Smee.
Yes, me is out. Wondering if there's going to be a VSC for that incident because his car is still on track right now. I think we have some pit stops happening.
Yeah. Quite a few pit stops happening.
I would assume those pit stops are to repair some damaged front wings because being it's a wet start, I don't think they need to change tires as yet. It's just going to be about changing front wings at the moment.
Yeah, we're going to see quite a few front wings being changed just there. And Train's got a drive through for speeding under VSC.
That's going to hurt his race definitely here. It's currently running in 8th. Just did a purple sector 1 under that there.
Yeah, there's 3 laps to take the drive through, so I wonder how it affects him.
I got Sarge pretty close to Chatty Duck, but being it's so wet on track, it's not easy. And Chatty Duck is sliding just a little bit in front of him, but it's not easy to get a good gap to get a position up here. With conditions as they are, I assume we'll probably have more VSCs happening. I'm not sure as yet, or maybe just a few more incidents on track, as it's not easy to drive Vietnam in the wet. And then the visual is just really bad, especially when you have a car just about a half a second in front of you.
Yeah, the think we could be seeing a full safety car, more than one in this race.
I assume we probably should be having one of those. I'm not sure as yet, but we'll see how it goes because it's gonna be 14 laps, and that was Sarge doing a purple lap, well, all three sectors. So you got the fastest time on that one for now. So Angry Orange holding out in P1, Chatty Duck still running P2, Sarge is currently in P3. I think he started P1 if I'm correct, because he seems to be 2 positions down right now.
It looks like Trent's taking his drive through and he's dropped from 8th to 12th.
I still got Sarge chasing down Chatty Duck right now. He seems to be getting pretty close, going side by side. And Chatty Duck just outbreaks him, going around that hairpin there. After that very long section, straight, yeah. But Chatty Duck holds P2 for now. Yeah, he does seem to be building a significant gap there. I got Slayer just behind Picklebeard as well. He's trying to catch up. He's gonna have to just be as careful as he can. Just try not to get any damage to that front wing, because that's gonna cost him if he does, as he's running P5 right now. I'll be honest with you, I'm not that good in the wet. So, you know, I gotta say congratulations to the guys who are driving this well in the wet so far. Only one driver out of the race. That's me there. But everyone else doing a pretty decent job, I gotta say. Being it's full wets for a race start, and it does seem like we might have this going on for the rest of the session. Because it doesn't seem like this might ease up at any point coming pretty soon here.
No, it looks like it's going to be a very wet race throughout the full session. Let's hope China's going to get a lot different.
I honestly didn't expect a wet race, but it's quite interesting to see one happen here at Vietnam out of all tracks. So I think this will be the first wet race. Yeah, I'm getting to stream for League actually on Vietnam.
This is actually the first race I've actually commentated on ever.
Oh, you're doing pretty well so far. I haven't been doing this for too long, but I gotta be honest, it's a lot of fun, you know, just watching these guys race. Instead of being the race, sometimes you might be doing well in the race, or sometimes not. Usually, I'm not in the top 10. I'm usually running about 12 or 13 by the time we get to the end of a race. I do get into the top 10 sometimes, but then you fall out of it. So it's a lot of fun on my end to just watch guys race and just to be able to follow the battles that go along during the race session.
Yeah. I'll admit I love the racing side because I just enjoy getting involved in the battles. It's so much fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun racing as well. Most of the times, usually I just get online with the guys and practice sometimes. I haven't had any practice with Slydog Racing League for since we have started streaming as yet. But hopefully we'll get to do that soon.
Yeah. It looks like Bitmap has got a damage from wing. He's just dropping position after position now. Otis is coming into the pit.
Oh yeah, Bitmap is in the pits. Might have had some damage from somewhere. It's quite easy to just, you know, just break up just even a small part of your front wing going on this track. And we got Mitzi here behind Wheeler. He's pretty close, but it's not a dry race, so it's not that easy. Oh, getting very close to the rear end of Wheeler there. And now getting past because Wheeler, yeah, he did make a little bit of a mistake getting around that turn, so I think Mitzi took advantage. Dikona getting up a position there as well.
He seems to be doing pretty well, considering he's just coming to tier 1. I've got to admit with Dean, he's a pretty good fast driver in the drive. I'm not sure what he's like in the wet side. I've seen him racing in the wet before. Needs his proving I step into the wheel. Oh, and he's just took a big spin.
Oh yeah, I just saw that happen there. That's really going to cost him a few positions as he's going down out of the points maybe. Now he's still in 10th running, but he does have Butters just behind him trying to catch up now. But the wet track is proving to be very difficult for a few of these drivers here because they have to be so careful going around a lot of these turns. As I have Chatty Duck running in P1 currently now. Got all the way up there. Angry Orange now down to P2.
I struggle driving in the wet because you've got to change your driving style so much to get on the racing line and be smoother on the track. It's so difficult to do in the wet.
So let's see, we're running on lap 6 of 14. And I haven't done much wet races in my time. I mean, I've run some wet races, but being starting on full wets, I assume you have to at least change these tires at least once in this 14 laps. Or can, I'm not sure, can they actually go all the way to the end?
No, I think they get either a penalty or disqualified if they don't go in pits. So I think they do have to change once.
I think they might have to. I know the disqualification usually goes when it's a dry race. You have to use at least 2 different tire compounds in a race if it's dry. But I know when it's wet, you get a free choice of using it and have to do it however you need to. But just in terms of tire life, I'm not sure if the wets can actually last 14 laps in this session here. But I think they're going to have to pit at some point just to change it because they might start to lose some sort of traction on those tires even though they're using the racing line, which is going to be a little bit drier than the rest of the track.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they're feeling a bit of loss already.
I have Chris Davies in chat here saying no pit stop is required. So if it is true that no pit stops is required on these wets, then I'll be honest, because I have not too much experience with the wets in terms of driving. I try to avoid driving in wets because I'm not that good at it. But if the full wets can go all the way to the end, that's going to be pretty good for Chatty Duck and Angry Orange out in front there, because they're just going to be challenging it. Or the top 6 actually. Running on 6 lap all wets, they're probably going to be able to go all the way to the end if that's possible, because I know usually if you're using the inters, then you're definitely going to have to make another stop. There's no way those tires last 14 laps straight. But wets, it is possible for them to go all the way to the end. And in terms of when it's wet, I know usage of the ERS is a little bit different. It doesn't, how do you say it, just, you know, it's not used up that fast, you know, on a wet track than on a dry track for some reason.
No, it seems to be played a lot differently in the wet. I've noticed that you just don't get no time at all in the wet before the take line.
Yeah, it doesn't actually provide as much of an advantage as it does in on a dry track because when it's dry, as we know with a overtake button on the 2020 game, it's so much more of an advantage in terms of straight line speed, especially that you're gonna get with using that overtake button.
Yeah.
I see Angry Orange trying to get a gap under a second behind himself and Chatty Duck. Of course, there's no physical advantage to that being there. There isn't going to be no DRS on a wet race. So he's just going to have to rely on a little bit of overtake that he can use and just trying hopefully for straight line speed and getting a better entry and exit in on these turns to get past Chatty Duck. If he can actually get it done, I'm not sure, without avoiding damage.
Yeah. Hopefully he can try and get that goal. Oh, he runs wide on the exit of that corner.
Oh, and yeah.
Yeah.
And Chatty Duck is actually about to lap James Punt there, who is running in 15th in this race. So Chatty Duck seems to have some decent pace as he just got past James there. So just over halfway through the race, and he's already lapped one car. So he does seem to have some pretty significant pace.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, and I have Infamous here saying, yeah, so when you're on wets, you're not on full power as much as a dry, so therefore you don't use as much ERS. Ooh, Angry Orange gets a little bit close to that wall there. I don't think he took any damage on that, but you're gonna have to be careful because it's the last thing you want to have happen, especially in a wet race, because it costs you a lot more time going into the pits and getting out there. If you have to do a pit stop just to change your front wing, and Angry Orange keeps going just a little bit wide on these turns, but it's not that easy to maneuver.
It looks like the tyres are starting to give up, or he's just struggling to pick up the pace out of them corners and get going.
So I got Chris Davies on stream. He's telling me that he just checked on another stream and you actually lose about 15 seconds if you make a stop on a race like this compared to making no stops. So it actually is going to cost you a lot of time and quite a few positions actually, because actually we can see that our top three guys running are very close together as J Sarge is chasing down Angry Orange now much closer. Chatty Duck seems to be building his gap just a little bit out front, but Pickled Beard is running fourth and is about almost 20 seconds, 19 and a half seconds actually behind J Sarge, which means the top three, if they do need to pick up pit stop, they can actually do it if they do damage your wing. So yeah, I think it's mostly an advantage for J Sarge there, because Sarge will just come back in third anyway if he does make a stop. So still we're here running on lap 9. We're just going to run through each driver as it is. So we got Chatty Duck out in P1, Angry Orange should run in P2, J Sarge just behind him, 3/4 of a second now is that gap. It's getting much lower because Angry Orange is just getting a bit worried about Sarge. Now he's getting pretty close to him and might be getting for a move here pretty soon. Pickled Beer seems to be losing a lot of time behind Sarge as well. He's now 21 seconds behind and still on his wets that he started on, I think, or maybe he did change for. No, I think he's still on the same wets. Slayer running in 5th. We got Lawson in 6th, another 21 seconds behind. So that's a significant gap between these guys here. Then we got Wheeler in 7th. Mitzi is 8th, but he's quite close to Wheeler. I think he might be trying to get something done.
I'm currently watching that battle now to see what happens. It looks like he needs his current score for the overtake. He needs to turn one.
Oh, he looks like he's about to go for it, and he might be able to get it done because Lawson is on the left side. He's going to be on the inside, and I don't think he's going to be able to get it done. Yeah, so Mitzi took that. Wheeler is now down to 8th. So that was a pretty, very good, actually a pretty good pass. Pretty clean.
Pretty spectacular move.
Trem running in 9th right now, about 4 seconds behind. Butters in 10th, so that's the top 10 getting points here. I'm not sure who's going to get the fastest lap coming down to the end of the race. D-Corner running 11th, and ENMC running very closely behind him, trailing him right now. Not sure if there's going to be a pass happening here. It's quite not so good actually with the visual on in terms of ENMC's POV here. He's going to have to be very careful if he's about to attempt an overtake on D-Corner, because he is getting pretty close. Does seem to have the insight to go on, and he's going for it. He might be getting it done. Oh, but now D-Corner gets it.
It's back out, isn't it?
So that battle is going to continue between the two of them. Then Bitmap in 13th, and Duncan running 14th, James running in 15th. Smee out of the race. Going back out the front, J Sarge is chasing down Angry Orange. Seems to have a bit of pace.
Ian went for an overtake on Dean and just misjudged him. And Dean hit the wall down his front road.
And also Sarge, yeah, Sarge is in a purple sector 1, so he's doing some pretty significant times.
And the gap between Sarge and Orange is closing.
Yes, it is. And ENMC and D-Corner, that gap is getting down as well. Oh, and Mitzi get past. Oh, Lawson get past Mitzi. I think there's a battle going on with the two of them. Yeah, there is. As Mitzi goes wide.
I was checking to see what Dakuna was doing because he's got a damage for one, but he's scared out.
Let's have a look, because I think ENMC is getting pretty significantly close to, yeah, and EMC does get past Kuna there. Let's have a look at what's happening. So ENMC out in front in 11th now. Oh, and Mitzi get past Lawson.
Yeah, I just spotted that. I'm going to take a look at that and see what's happening. It's giving B-Wheeler a chance to close that gap and join him with a battle.
We got just over 2 laps left to go here. And Sarge is seriously... Oh, and that is Lawson. Lost it. Spun his car. He's sideways on track. Definitely has some wing damage. Trying to get back straight right now. Lost about at least 2 to 3 positions there.
That's what I'm looking for also, because he was in a good battle then with meeting. Looks like B-Wheeler was about to join it as well.
That gap is getting pretty close. I also have a close gap between Sarge and Angry Orange. So Sarge is desperately trying to get past Angry Orange right now, but not getting a good go at it, as the track is not drying up anytime soon. We're almost down to the end of the race here.
It's been an interesting race, this is what.
Yeah, definitely. I assume being a wet race, you probably would have had another VSC or a full safety car in this race, but that hasn't happened. Just one incident having Smee out of the race, and that's it. So overall, you gotta say it's some pretty good driving from all of the guys here from Slydog Racing for Tier 1.
Real clean as well.
Yeah, some very clean overtakes. You know, very clean battles happening, so no one's actually taking everyone out of the race, which is always good to see for these leagues. You know, just trying to keep it clean as the guys can, and some really good racing. I see Sarge is still trying to close that gap. It's less than half a second, but he's just not finding the gap to go on to get an overtake done, and he just keep going just a little bit wide here, as well as Angry Orange went a bit wide as well. So he's going to have to avoid those mistakes if he wants to get past Angry Orange in the next lap coming around, because we're about to head into lap 14 pretty soon. I think Borders just got a move done on Lawson there. Oh, and Mitzi get past Slayer as well.
Oh, Slay's got half front wing.
Oh, so there was definitely some contact between the two of them, probably when that overtake happened. I'm not sure. I can't say for sure, or maybe Slayer touched the wall, maybe just a little bit, because the barriers are a little bit close here at Vietnam, which is one of the reasons a lot of drivers usually don't like the track so much, because the barriers are so close. Does seem a bit like Azerbaijan, I gotta say.
Yeah, it is. It's very close to the track. That's one of the downsides to this track for me. Me personally, I reckon it's a good track overall, but just too enclosed. It feels like you're being squashed by the walls.
I got Lawson getting very close to ENMC, who's running 10th. He's going to try to get that final points paying position if he can here, because I'm quite sure he's not going to want to lose out on any points for this race, even though it's wet. We do have China coming up just after this. That should be a pretty interesting track, especially turn 1. I do love going around turn 1, especially to see who's going to take the inside and who goes on the outside to avoid any damage.
Yeah, it's very good corner that turn 1.
Oh, and got Wheeler and Slayer going at it. I think Wheeler just got it. Slayer has to stay in 7th. That was a pretty clean overtake, even for on a wet track. I still got Sar chasing down Angry Orange here. He's just not getting a decent pace to get past Angry Orange and get a good gap on him as yet. And he's so close behind.
Yeah, I've been following this battle for quite a while now, and he's just not doing best to keep it with Orange. It looks like he keeps on having mistakes coming out of the corners, and it's falling him down.
ENMC is getting pretty close to Butters there as well, as I'm going to just have a look at that battle as it's going down. And Deacon and Dawson is getting into it here. Deacon was trying to take the inside just a little bit. I heard a sound as if someone lost a part of the front, which I think is Lawson. He might have lost an end plate or something there. Deacon is going on him wheel to wheel now. Does get a move done, moves up into 11th. Trem moving up into 7th, getting past Slayer there. On board with Slayer right now as he does chase Trem down. He's about to try and get it done, but Trem outbreaks him going down into the turn.
Just about to cross the finish line in first place.
And he does go across first. Angry Orange second. Oh, Jay Sarge takes second. Penalties are what is coming to play now.
Wow.
Pickle Beard coming around. Let's see. He should be getting P4. Because quite comfortably he has enough gap in front of him and behind to keep that P4. So Angry Orange losing out on second here because of penalties, I assume. We're going to have a look at that when the results table does come up down at the end. But let's see if Picklebeard is going to hold on to his fourth and then have a look at the rest of the grid as they come across the line. Duncan already went across in 14. James is out of the race. I think that happened just very recently.
Oh, didn't even realize it.
I just noticed that we had two drivers out. I know Smee was out, but James not being able to finish the race. I think he had an incident with someone there. I'm not sure. We didn't catch that on stream. But sorry to see him out. That's Missy in 5th now. So Pickleberry took 4th. Wheeler coming across for 6th here. And he does take that. Trem is now coming around. He should be taking 7th. Oh, Butters just got past Slayer there for a position up into 9th. That's Trem in 7th. Let's see ENMC coming across in 8th. Oh, and Trem moves down to 8th. Now ENMC takes away 7th.
Trem's 10th?
Oh, Trem moves down to... He probably has a lot of penalties there because he moved all the way down. Butters up to 8th. Slayer into 9th. 10th for Trem there. Last points being position. And he looks like he's going to hold that. Dekuna comes around in 11th. Bitmap being 12. Lawson is going to take 13th, and Duncan is going to take 14th here. And I think that's how it's going to round up for down to the end. So it was some interesting battles for a wet race. One of the first full wet race I've actually streamed since the F1 2020 game came out, and it's been quite interesting to see. Driver of the day goes to Butters. Congratulations to him. That's some really good driving for him as well.
Yeah, it was some pretty good driving from Butters. I didn't expect him that much, but from what I've seen in the guidance, it looks like good.
I think I got a few shots of Butters, but yeah, he was doing some pretty good driving there in the on track. I think he got quite a lot of overtakes done as well from the start of that race. So, good job to all the drivers for keeping it clean. Let's have a repeat of that happen at China. Hopefully we'll probably have a dry race at China, so just to mix it up a bit for Tier 1. So that is the results there. So we have Chatty Duck taking P1, Sarge goes P2, Angry Orange takes P3 because of a penalty. And I think it was just one penalty because Sarge was so close to him. Yeah, it was. Pickled Beer takes 4th, Mitzi goes 5th, Wheeler 6th, ENMC 7, Butters takes 8th. Great driving for him. Slayer takes 9th, Trem takes 10th. And let's see, he had a penalty. 10 seconds was his penalty. So that was, I think, probably a drive-through or something. I'm not sure. Or no.
The 10-second penalties from corner cutting.
Oh, probably, yeah. Because I think drive-through would have been disqualified. 11 goes to Tikuna, Bitmappy 12, Lawson 13, Duncan 14, and James 15, Smee in 16. James and Smee not able to finish the race. I think there was an incident with James just before the end of that race. I'm not sure what it was, but unfortunately, two of them were out, but that's fine. We're going on to China now.
Well,
and hopefully, yeah.
First grid for the top 10 for China.
Yeah, so that's going to be proving to be quite interesting for the start of it there. I've actually never done a league race in terms of being in the league race where we had a reverse grid going. I think only my only experience in that would be racing on the Formula 2 cars on the career mode, basically.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting with a reverse grid. It mixes things up a lot.
Yeah, it does.
Because, as we can see here, Trem's going to be starting in P1 and Chatty Duck's going to be in P10. So Chatty Duck's going to have to do a lot of work P1 again if he wants to finish in 7th place.
Definitely he is going to have to do that.
It looks like Chatty Duck took the fastest lap at Vietnam, 153.694. Nice time.
So I assume with the I'm not sure if I asked before, but I think that extra point does award an that fastest lap does award an extra point if Slydog does do it that way. So is that going to be an extra point for Chatty Dog there?
I think it could be, yeah. Because I think they do work the standings like that.
Yeah, I think so. So that's going to be one extra point. That's going to come in handy for him in terms of the championship and in terms of also for constructors here.
Yeah.
Because I'm just looking to see, but who is his teammate here? Red Bull. Oh, Bitmappy is his teammate. Bitmappy came in 12th, so it's only one Red Bull making the points there.
Yeah.
So Jake, you're gonna be running in Tier 2 there, right?
Yes, I'll be in T2.
I've only done one race for you guys, so I'm not too familiar with this yet. But what team do you drive for?
I race for Racing Point.
Okay, Pink Mercedes, that is, as we call it here on stream. So yeah, hopefully we're gonna be seeing you doing some pretty good lap times, getting a lot of overtakes done. We'll be rooting for you in the race when we get to that one there, but we still have China to go here for Tier 1. As the guys will be getting set up anytime soon, and then we get on. It's always interesting to see leagues doing full damage on a league race, it does, prove to be quite interesting, especially with strict corner cutting as well. So, because I know usually when the corner cutting is not on strict or if vehicle damage is on reduced, guys tend to take as much advantage of that as they can. And, it does help them at some point in the race, but it proves to be a disadvantage for other players.
It does, because the people who know those advantages can just fly ahead without any problems.
Yeah, they can. Because you do get away with quite a few things. Instead of losing, instead of that front wing damage going to red, it's probably just going to be yellow, which means they can still drive with it even if they, force an overtake or force a dive bomb to just get a position up. They can still drive with that car on. At least speaking for myself, I can drive comfortably well with a car that has a yellow damage front wing, but when it's red, you have some problems going around some of these corners.
Yeah, you do, but I tend to gear down to a gear less than usual with a red front wing to keep it on the racing line as much as possible. But it's very hard to do in control.
Yeah, it is. I'm just looking at the flags here. So, Chatty Duck being Canadian here. So we have a Canadian running, finishing pole position. Most of the guys are going to be from the UK. Do we have any American flags on this league here? Except for mine. I'm just streaming. I'm not racing. So except for mine. I don't think so, no.
Not in this tier, but I think there is in tier 2.
I see you have the general flag on yours. Which country are you from, Jake?
I'm from England.
Okay, okay. So, yeah. So majority of the flags being UK, quite interesting. Because I know, the time zones is so much different. You guys are 5 hours ahead over there, away from me. So it's like right now it's 3:44 p.m. for me. I'm not sure if there's a time difference. Like I think I got times mixed up today for some reason.
Yeah. Whereabouts in the US are you from?
Oh, I'm from New York actually.
New York?
Yeah.
Is it a nice place, New York? Because I've never been abroad before, so I'm not
It
sure
is
what the rest
actually
is
quite
like.
nice. It depends on exactly where in New York you are. Because when anyone comes to visit New York, it's mostly you're gonna say they're probably gonna be mostly in Manhattan for most of their times, or some people usually go to Long Island and stuff. So it depends exactly where you're going, because we have 5 different boroughs here. So it depends where you visit. But we do have a
Yeah.
lot of nice locations to visit here in NYC. I think we're about to get ready for China here.
Should be a fun race, this one. Let's hope this one's going to be in dry.
Okay, so I'm gonna put some pressure on Trem here since he's gonna be starting P1. Let's see how well he's gonna do in terms of race start. If he can get a better start than anyone else, I'm not sure as yet. But let's see how he's gonna do. Chatty Duck is gonna be in 10th, and let's see how many positions he can gain by the time the end of lap 1.
It should be a nice challenge, that, for Chatty Duck.
I think Chatty Duck is gonna get a little bit ways up, but let's see. I think we might be having a dry race for China. I'm not sure yet, but let's see how that session goes down.
Oh, it's another wet
Oh,
race.
it's another wet race. This is this is gonna be an interesting session for Tier 1. Tier 1 not having a good day. It's a wet race all the way through to both sessions here. So let's
Let's
see
hope
what's
it's
gonna
not going
happen.
to be the same in tier 2.
I see some inters showing in some of the garages there. I'm not sure if they're gonna be running on inters or if it's full wets, but we'll have a look at that in a second here.
It looks like it's alright for inters.
Yeah, it does seem to be coming down too much. I think inters might be okay here. So in that case, I think we're going to see a little bit more pace for some of the drivers, and you know maybe some guys might have a little bit more control of their cars, especially going around some of the chicanes here. So might be a little bit of a better race here, but not counting out a safety car or a VSC for this session as well. 'Cause this is China. We do have that very long back straight coming down to the apex as well.
A lot of people do miss the braking points and going into that corner as well.
Alright, so we're about to get going here as, let's see. Someone didn't get started.
It looks like Slydog.
Oh, and we have a racing point, and I think probably a Red Bull getting into it there, down by the exit of the pit lane. I'm not sure if there was a Red Bull or not.
Yeah,
I know it's a
Red
racing
Bull,
point.
Yeah, Red Bull as well.
I barely caught that one on screen, and we have a VSC, and they're barely past turn 2 here. So, oh, the Slayer is disqualified from his session. He is out. Not sure if he reversed on track to have that happen. So Field is going to stay as it is currently. Trem in P1 staying there. Butters P2, ENMC's P3, Sarge P4, Wheeler P5, Pickled Beer 6, Bitmap P7, Amki Orange 8, and Smee in 9. Deacon running 10th. And Shady Duck all the way down to 14th on that start. He had a pretty bad start here.
He had a really bad start.
Oh, he's all the way down to 15th right now. I'm not sure if he pitted or not. No, we're not in the pit stop as yet. Chatty Duck. Oh, I think Chatty Duck was the one with that incident, the racing point. And who was that racing point? Was that Mitzi? Yeah, someone is off track here right now. I think it was Mitzi. So I think it was Mitzi and Chatty Duck on the incident down into the exit of the pit lane there. Yeah, he's lost a significant amount of front wing. So definitely it was Chatty Duck and Mitzi on that one. I don't think that's gonna go too well down in Discord with the two of them, depending on whose fault that was. I'm not sure as yet, or if it was a racing incident. I'm honestly not sure. I usually tend not to get. And we're back racing again. VSC is over as Wheeler gains a position of Pickled Beard right now. So running on Inter should be quite interesting. Trem taking fastest lap 159 on Inter. So let's see how the rest of this session is gonna go. Yeah, I'm seeing them going around here right now. That turn is not a particularly good position to overtake if you don't have good grip on what they're doing yet. And Picklebeard stays in 4th there. Wheeler has to stay in 5th. ENMC, Mitzi, and Chatty Duck all into the pits right now. I think ENMC took some damage as well. I'm not sure if he was involved in that incident, but he does seem to have taken some damage there. I'm not sure if I'm seeing right, but I think Picklebeard might have some damage on his car. I'm just trying to have a look at his front wing if I can. Oh, and Butters is about to get a move done on Sarge. But he's going to have to just close the gap just a little bit more. Sarge getting away.
Sarge has got half a front wing.
Oh, so Sarge is going to have some problems there on turns. But let's see how the straight line speed is and what the race pace is going to be. Coming down to the back straight now. And it's quite easy to actually lose it around that turn before you get onto the back straight. It doesn't seem like Butters is getting a go at Sarge as yet. He's going to get close coming down to the apex. Going to lose some time as Sarge goes off now. Sarge went a little bit wide. But Butters is trying to gain as much time. And Pickled Beard is missing an M-pit and getting confirmation of that right now. Oh, Angry Orange went wide in front of him, leaving a gap open. Angry Orange is pretty close to Butters there as well. But Trem out front is getting a good... Oh, Angry Orange is going for it on the inside. Okay, I'm having a look on Pickled Beard's car right now. Sarge out front of them. Butters now in 4th as they go around the second turn. Pickled Beard trying to take on the inside. Smee getting a move done behind with Wheeler here. Oh, yeah, Smee got ahead. Wheeler doesn't have any damage. I'm not sure how Smee got past. Oh, Picklebeer goes wide.
Oh,
That's gonna cause them. Butters up to fourth. Pickled up to fourth. Oh, they're switching positions, going around wheel to wheel here now.
oh, and they just touched.
Definitely some contact there.
Oh,
So this is actually quite surprising. We're having a wet race both sessions. Smee went a little bit wide there, losing a position. Trim is doing very well out front, now 5.1 seconds ahead of Sarge.
He seems to be flying ahead, Trim.
Well, he has clean air in front of him, and being it's on wet. Oh, Butters is so close to Smee, and Smee is so close to Pickle. It's gonna be a three-way battle going into the chicane down at the long straight.
A bit of contact with the Renault behind as well.
Everyone seems to be going still. I think Sarge might be looking for a go on Angry Orange here into turn one. Let's see if he's going to take the inside. No, he's going behind Orange.
It's not close enough to go for the overtake. It looks like both of them have front wing damage.
I think there might be quite a few cars with some front wing damage right now as ENMC gets the fastest lap, 147.6.
Nice lap coming in. All the way down to 13th.
Yeah, it is a pretty good lap, especially for running in inters here. Mitzi now with a fast. Oh, Chatty Duck now takes it with on 146.2. And Chatty Duck is running in 15th.
Taking a different turn for Chatty Duck on this race.
I see Duncan is getting close to Lawson, and Lawson is getting close to Wheeler, and Wheeler is getting close to Bitmappy here. This is another four-way battle going on for 7th. Also, Picklebeard very close to Butters. Quite a few battles to follow here, so I'm not sure where to go.
Battle for 7th place looks like it's going to a 5-way battle now, but it looks like James Hunt is closing up on them.
It's going to be an interesting one going down to this hairpin. Let's see how this goes. Both Renaults are running next to each other here. So Wheeler and Duncan, I'm not sure who has the better pace, but they're getting side by side just a little bit. Going around to the... Oh, someone is going into the pits. That is Wheeler. I think Wheeler might have some damage as well there. That's why he pitted. I got Smee very close to someone here. He just got to move on Sarge. Sarge went a bit wide. But it's so difficult to keep your car on the racing line. Even on inters, I gotta be honest, I'm not that good in the wet, so I gotta say, it's not always keeping the car on the racing line that's so easy. Especially going around some of the turns is quite difficult, especially if you're trying to accelerate out of it.
Yeah, I find you get a lot of understeer in the wet on this game. It's hard to control as well.
Yeah, for sure, and especially because you guys drive with all the I guess all of the assists off, especially with the braking assist and traction control. So with that, if you do go too much on the throttle, you're going to just spin out the back end and just lose it. So you have to be like super careful, especially with the settings that you drive with.
Yeah, it's hard to get the throttle right when you're using more traction control. If you do it just that one down it too much, you lost the back end instantly.
Closest gap I got right now, I think probably is about Pickled Beer there. Getting very close behind Butters, but not close enough to get a move done as yet. Just trying to close the gap. Wheeler with a 3-second penalty, so we're going to have some few penalties dished out on this session as well, as we're just getting almost into halfway of the session because we're only on lap 6 right now. One more lap and we can call it halfway through. But it's been a pretty interesting race. Slydog and Mitzi up a position. Wheeler down to 15th.
There seems to be a lot of battles going on in the race.
Definitely. I'm just currently following Lawson a bit nappy right now. Lawson has about half a second behind. But he has Duncan behind him as well, about the same gap. Oh, Duncan is getting pretty close to that battle there.
Oh.
Oh, and here comes Duncan going wheel by wheel with Lawson. Doesn't get it done, has to hold back in 9 for now. Didn't want to risk that move and losing a pure part of his front wing. So he's going to hold it up. Maybe he's going to go for another move coming down to the back straight here. I think definitely he's using all the overtake he has, which is not much. It's about 4% he had there. Oh, and Lawson getting a little bit lost in the distance out in front, so he doesn't seem to have a lot of straight line speed on Duncan's end there to get it done. Oh, Sarge is in the pits now.
I like the animations that they've changed it to for this game in the pits.
I'm just following Duncan here as he's getting extremely close to Lawson. Trem doing an excellent job out front though, running in P1 still. Slydog doing some pretty good laps, but just not getting overtakes done. Let's see what he's going on with that at the back here. He's trying to get a move down on Sarge. On board with Slydog right now as he's chasing down Sarge, and Sarge is chasing down Mitzi right now. We're on lap 7. I'm not sure if Slydog can get us in the points, but let's see how it goes. Wheeler running in 15th.
It looks like there could be another few more pit stops for a few people ahead, so they could have a good chance of coming up.
Yeah, for sure. I'm still following out front. I still can't believe Trem has actually gained so much of an advantage over Angry Orange out front there. He's running his own race in that McLaren.
He's holding that lead pretty well.
And I think he's going to have to try and hold it as much as he can, because I'm not sure if Trem gained any penalties so far in this race. But if he has a penalty, especially if he has 1 or 2, he's going to have to get over 6 seconds ahead. He's currently 5.4 seconds ahead of Angry Orange, which is a pretty good gap, because I'm not sure, running out front, it's not, you're not under so much of pressure, especially when you're building a gap, in terms of, getting penalties, unless it's something you tend to do a lot, like I usually do, but, you gotta just try and keep it as safe as you can, just to avoid the penalties, because it does help you out, because if you do get a 3 second, you gotta make sure that car behind you is another 3 seconds behind or extra, and build that gap as much as you can, which is not easy to do, especially on a semi-wet track as we're running on right now.
Yeah, well, just for confirmation, Trem doesn't have any penalties as of yet.
Okay, so then he's running pretty decently up front. He's running an excellent race then, if that's the case, because the gap is 6.3 seconds now. It keeps increasing. Trem seems to be pretty good at China, and this reverse grid gave him more of an advantage.
It looks like Shmeen could be coming for the overtake on Angry Orange here. Down into the high point.
I'm having a look at that battle right now to see if he can get him coming down to that apex, if he's going to outbreak him or not. He's just coming up alongside, thinks about it, but not gonna do it. Doesn't want to risk it. He has gotten significantly closer to Angry Orange though.
Yeah. Could be having a look for it and going into turn 1. Guys to hang back for now. Oh.
Thinking about that inside move, but just not pushing it too much. I don't think he wants to risk it. He does have quite a few laps left to go on, so he's just probably going to wait for the right time to do this.
Yeah, I mean, people do want to take at different points on the track, so he could be waiting for the right moment for himself to overtake.
Yeah, and Duncan just went into the pits there. So that pushes Mitzi up to 11th now. Mitzi just needs one more position to actually get a point in this race. Chatty Duck and Sarge, however, needs to work their way up just a little bit more. Chatty Duck pretty close to Sarge there though. But Smee is us about the same. Oh, and Chatty Duck gets up on Sarge.
I'm just having a look at the car at front still. It seems to be that Smee's just holding back for now.
He might be. I'm just looking at Sarge right now and Chatty Duck chasing each other around. Chatty Duck chasing Mitzi as well.
This could end up being a battle for the last points position.
Definitely, that would be something to see here. I mean, it's just 1 point, but it's worth a lot in terms of the championship down at the end of the season. Because you never know that 1 point could actually make a difference between, you know, finishing and getting, you know, get a world championship, especially for Chatty Duck here.
Yeah. Well, that gap between Meaton and Laguna's caused quite a lot coming down the straight.
Oh, and Chatty Duck gets so close, locking his tire just a little bit, getting close to Mitzi and Decuna running in 10th. Decuna is going to be under a lot of pressure here right now. Oh, he goes into the pits. That puts Mitzi up into 10th. Chatty Duck now into... Oh, and Chatty Duck loses it a bit. Loses some time. Sarge gets past. And that is going to cost him. He's right back where he started in 12th here now. He's going to have to just work his way back up. He had a free position up for a second there and just messed that up coming off the final turn to the pit straight.
He could have just gone a little bit wide on the exit caught grass.
Yeah, he did. It does kind of throw your rear end of the car a little bit off when you do go wide off that curb.
It does. I mean, it happened to Alex Albon last year, was it? Or was it year before?
I'm not sure which year it was, but I think I remember what you're talking about there. Yeah, it does happen. Because you gotta just be so careful even when you're battling for positions here. Sarge is getting pretty close to Mitzi. It's just about half a second that gap is. Chatty Duck is just trying to stay behind Sarge as much as he can. So if Sarge is about to get something done, he's going to get a move as well. Angry Orange taking a 3-second penalty. He's running in second. That's not going to help him with Smee so close behind right now.
It will be a close one between Smee and Orange, just depending on if Smee's got any time penalties in his mouth.
I'm not sure if Smee has any penalties as ENMC goes into the pits now.
No, he lost.
Oh, it's Lawson. Lawson is in the pits. I thought it was MC in the pits for a second there. So Smee is now getting pretty close to the rear end of Angry Orange. he's just gonna hope that he puts Angry Orange under some pressure and he makes a mistake out front, so you can just get a free move and pass all the way up into P2 here, which is going to be an excellent finishing position for him.
Well, considering the retirement in the loss there, so he did pretty good on his side. No, that will be a 1-2 for McLaren.
Oh, taking the outside. Was thinking about the inside, but Angry Orange covered that. And he might have a go at him coming down to the final turn, going into the pit straight. No, Angry Orange takes back the racing line. Keeping it clean so far. But Smee is very close to Angry Orange. I'm not sure how turn 1 is about to go here, as we might have a move happening. Angry Orange is trying to cover himself, forcing Smee on the outside. Goes a little bit too much on the inside. Smee getting it on P2. Let's see how he's going to come around to the... Oh, and they're both coming around at the same time, but I think Smee is about to get this. Angry Orange thinks about going on the inside. Not really a good move there.
Smee just nearly lost it there.
But good job on Smee for actually getting that move done. He now holds it. Let's see if Angry Orange is about to outbreak him. A little bit, it does, but tries to get it done. Let's see, they're going wheel to wheel now. Angry Orange gets back up for now. He might have that position back, I'm not sure. They're fighting pretty hard for this.
It's a very close battle.
I think Angry Orange has that position back.
Yeah, whilst this battle's going on, it's allowing Trent to pull ahead even further, increase the gap to 69 seconds.
Trem is gaining a significant amount of time after Angry Orange right now. I guess it's because Angry Orange is busy battling with Smee there. So he's getting just a lot of time to get ahead. ENMC and Mitzi fighting it out. Oh, and Slydog getting in that fight as well. Mitzi going wide, gets back on track, forces Sarge to go past him down on the outside.
Contact between Mitzi and Slydog.
Oh, Mitzi falling down, another position. Sarge up to P10, Slydog up to P9. What a surprise move from Slydog there for that battle. So he's got that car into the points now. And he's so close to ENMC, gonna try to get a move done there as well. He's gonna get pretty close to him on this hairpin here.
Seems to be a big battle for P7. Yes.
It's a pretty good battle going on for P7 here. I gotta say, quite a few cars getting in on a mix of this. Oh, and someone, I think that's ENMC, getting a bit off track, losing some time and position. Now down to 11. Mitzi moves up to 10th. Someone went wide there.
It was fun. Slydog's up to P7 now.
Oh, so James lost out a bit. I think Sarge is about to get past him as well. Oh, that's James out of track. Losing it, spinning that rear end. I think he had contact with someone there. He's now into 11th running. He's not going to be happy about that. Out of the points, and we're on lap 13. Gap seems to be building just over a second between most of the cars who work pretty close together. Smee's still less than half a second now behind Angry Orange, sorry. And let's see how that battle is going as they go along the pit straight here.
I think I'm going to watch this battle for the full last slot, see how it goes down.
Oh, Smee going on the outside. Not sure if he's going to get it done. He's going to be on the inside going around the other turn here now. Might be forcing... Does push Angry Orange a little bit wide, but let's see how this come out the turn. Going wheel to wheel into the next turn here. I think Angry Orange might get it if he gets this right. Oh, I think Smee went wide.
Yeah, he did.
So Angry Orange keeps that P2, Smee down back to P3. It's been a great battle out front here as well for P2, with Trem running all the way out front. He hasn't been battling anyone for this entire race. He's been just been racing by himself out front.
I know, yeah, he's not been involved in anything, just a nice clean race for him.
Absolutely no incidents for him, yeah. So good job on him for keeping that gap between himself and Angry Orange. Of course, you know, it's been tough on Angry Orange here. Fighting it out with Smee for P2 hasn't been easy for him.
Oh, it looks like Smee's going to come from the outside, coming down the straight.
Let's see who has the straight line speed. Going for this Angry Orange just seems to have some very good car placement. He is moving side to side right now, trying to block off Smee as it seems. Who's going to take, well, he's going right behind him. I thought he was about to take the inside. Might be going for it here, I'm not sure. Not enough pace.
Over the finish line in P1.
So that's Shrem P1, not surprising. Angry Orange. Let's see if anybody has any penalties as they come across. Oh, that was so close. Smee takes it.
1-2 from McLaren, nice finish.
That's a good one there. So Smee takes P2, Angry Orange goes P3, Butters go P4, Pickle, Beard 5. Bitmappy coming for P6 now. Let's see if he's gonna get it. Does get it for now. Chatty Duck 6, 7th. Getting the points. J Sarge 8, Mitzi 9. Oh, ENMC moves up a position from Mitzi. Mitzi goes down to 10. ENMC is 9th. Lawson should be coming 11th. I think Sarge just went up a few positions there as well. James takes 12. Duncan is coming 13. And Wheeler is coming for 14th with Decona behind him. And that's China for Tier 1. That was an exciting race, I gotta say.
Very exciting race.
A lot of battles to follow. Oh, Smee, driver of the day. Can't say I can't give it to him. He did a good job.
He did a very good job in that race, battling it with Orange. 1-2 McLaren.
So 2 McLarens and a Ferrari on pole. No Mercedes to be seen here. So yeah, that was a pretty clean race. Some really good battles to follow. That was a lot of fun to watch.
It was very good to watch. I enjoyed that race. I enjoyed both races.
Yeah, it was actually, I'm pretty surprised that we had, you know, wet races on both accounts. So that's the final standings. So Trent takes P1 comfortably, no penalties at all. Good job on him for that drive. So Smee goes P2, edging out Angry Orange, who was running in P2 up to P3 now. Butters P4, Picklebeard P5, Bitmappy and Chatty Duck, no penalties, 6th and 7th. Sarge running 8th, ENMC running 9th, Mitzi 10th, Lawson 11th. James, who will be, I think, will be joining me on stream for commentary for Tier 2 when you're racing, is 12. Wheeler 13, Decona is 14th, and Duncan goes 15th. Slayer there is 17th. I think Slayer is the only car that didn't finish this race. Unfortunate for him, but at least, you know, we have 15 cars still finish the race. That was a pretty good finish.
It was. There's a lot of penalties handed out this race.
Yeah, definitely, especially with a wet race. I know it was a bit expected, but, you know, I gotta say, good job on the drivers. We just had that one VSC, and I think that was it. No other safety car or no more VSC. So, good job on the drivers. Congratulations to everyone there, and very good race. And, you know, good job on Smee for getting driver of the day and getting P2. So yeah, thanks a lot, Jake, for joining me on stream for commentary today. It was a lot of fun having you. Hopefully we can do this again pretty soon. But, you know, good luck on your race in Tier 2, which is coming up just after this session. Hoping you do pretty well. I'll be keeping an eye on you, see how you're doing with the battles and stuff. So, you know, put on a good show for us.
Yeah, nice one, Infinite. It's been good being on with you. It's been really good. I hope I can be on next week with you as well.
I hope so, yeah. So I look forward to that. Anyway, thanks a lot for joining me on stream. It's been a lot of fun having someone to talk to, you know, instead of just chatting by myself here. But it's a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks a lot, and you know, thanks a lot to our sponsor, Grace Bespoke Printing and Embroidery Services Specialist, you know, for sponsoring the league. So Slydog Racing League, that was Tier 1 for Vietnam and China. We're gonna end up the stream here, guys, as we're just about to get started pretty soon with Tier 2. Alright, Jake. So thanks a lot. That's gonna be it for today for this stream for Tier 1, and we'll be seeing Tier 2 in just a few minutes.
No worries, Infinite. I'll see you in a bit.
Alright. Hopefully not. We'll have a look.